and all these other guys, and realizes that, hey, you know, maybe the reasons for lying are a lot more complex than she originally thinks.
Lightman has a great deal of mistrust for Torres, and he doesn't like naturals around. You know, generally it's not a good idea to call your boss an idiot.
I didn't say you were an idiot.
But you're bucking a dick.
That's not...
Oh, that's a pretty impressive combination of contempt and disgust. Apology accepted.
The Loker character, we saw all sorts of different kinds of people for that role. Hyper-intellectual and more streety, and lots of different ways of playing the Loker character. And there's this idea of a guy who had chosen radical honesty and a slightly immature idea that if I just tell everyone exactly what I'm thinking, life will be great, and obviously it doesn't work out very well for him.
So Brendan came in and you know, did the process. We ran through it a couple times. He was fantastic, and I called Sharon and I said, Sharon, how long are you going to be there? And she said, I'm going to be there X amount of time, and I said, I'm sending this guy over right now. So Brendan went over, read for Sharon and Sam, and he was great.
I was looking for someone who would be completely uninhibited. You know, the character has no filter. He's made this choice to say pretty much everything he thinks and always tell the truth. You know, part of the reason he does that is he's tired of having a separate self in different parts of his life. I mean, he's tired of having a professional self and then a like with the guy's self and you know, with his parents' self. And so instead he's just said, you know, I'm going to let it all hang out, and whoever wants to hang out with me, you know, can, and anyone who doesn't like me can move on.
That's what was fun about this character, was he wasn't just the perfect guy who's always, you know, says the right things to the girl. I had just been doing a lot of that lately, and it was a fun role. It was a guy who offends people and who is really good at his job, but also happens to, you know, have this compulsion to be brutally honest at all times, and that had so many different places to go that I was really excited by that. I have no chance with you. Nope. Do I have any chance with you?
You always tell the truth?
Always.
How good are you in bed?
Fair?
Fair's better than most.
Brendan had this sort of intensity and intelligence, but also sweetness that he could get away with being fairly obnoxious.
I've never been with a Latina woman.
Don't push it.
You have actors like Tim and Kelly and Monica and Brendan, and they raise the bar for everyone else as well. And what you're trying to do is challenge Tim.
I've never seen a cast so invested in their characters and the stories. And so we get a lot of feedback on the scripts, which on the one hand is difficult because it's a lot of work to do. But on the other hand, I think makes the scripts better. I think the cast actually... Did you see me doing one-sided shrug right there?
The episodes in themselves are very ambitious. You know, we're usually going out to several locations, and there's a lot of material. And so they are like making a movie.
All the writers actually met with Paul Ekman, and it was fascinating. He has 1,000 stories. He's been doing this for 40 years, and just to be able to hear his stories and his tales of some of the research he's done, and you never know what he might say, and it just kind of pops as, oh wow, that would be a great story.
One of the tricky things is, you know, if in classic TV crime show form you meet the bad guy in Act 1, why doesn't Lightman just say, oh, well, he did it? And we began to address that, and how you could see that someone was lying but not know what they were lying about, which is one of the points Ekman makes, which is very interesting. He says you can see someone being deceptive. That doesn't mean you necessarily know the truth. And so that was something we started working on very early, how to build a story that would go through several acts and turn and change as you peeled away the lies to finally get to the truth.
Why would an official protect his bodyguard, and why would that bodyguard treat his son as an equal?
Sam, very early on in the writer's room, encouraged us to think in every episode, what is the cost of the truth and what is the cost of the lie?
I felt a whodunit a week was okay, but you could go anywhere for that.
I have already seen on the set ideas in some of my books that in 20 seconds are dramatically illustrated in a way that will be more understandable than how I was able to describe it in words.
One of the goals was to always make the science